Ladies and gentlemen, for the 30th time, this is the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Not bad, right? Here we go. Episodes. But we finally have entrance music with an entrance song. Thank you to Brian Joy from Minister Bell Time for putting that together for us. I feel like we've officially made it, boys. Welcome to episode 30. This is our Daniel Bryan running the Evolution Gauntlet, so to speak, beating Triple H and then winning the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship from Randy Orton, as well and he beat Batista in that match as well. So this is our big yes, Daniel Bryan episode. This is our Cesaro lifting up the Big Show up in a body slam position, carrying him over to the ropes, and dumping him out to win the first ever Memorial Battle Royal episode. And most importantly, least we not forget, this is our Hulk Hogan in the Silverdome episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on all of our media outlets. At the Eastern Observer, on the I-95 Sports Network, on YouTube, and on Zingo Channel 198. With me, as always, on the bottom portion of our stream, our first ever PWB champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how was your Thanksgiving, pal? Glad to have you.
Thanksgiving was good. You know, football and turkey, always a good thing. And again, so congrats on 30. Always happy to be here.
Yeah, always glad to have you, John. And then next to me, always in the top corner, John Smith. Yeah, we got football on Thanksgiving, kinda.
Kinda.
It's whatever. That was a nice little showing by Will Fuller. Nice little season finale of him for 200 yards receiving, and then I wonder why he got that much.
Yeah, why you got to do me like that, Will Fuller? And don't forget, this is also the Undertaker ends his streak episode of our podcast.
Yeah, they try to keep it somewhat positive, but yeah, that's right. You know, what's great about that is the Undertaker. This was the Brock Lesnar beating the streak episode. That was just jaw dropping. I was just like everybody else, like jaw hit the ground. But on today's episode, Kevin Owens has had enough of Roman Reigns. AJ Styles is set to challenge for the WWE Championship at TLC. Gary Mehaffy is back with us to discuss A-Kid's big win. He won the Heritage Cup. So Gary Mehaffy from overseas in Northern Ireland, he will be here to discuss that with us. Brian Joy from Minutes to Bell Time, he is here always with us to discuss New Japan, MLW, Ring of Honor, all of the fun independent stuff. Actually, I wouldn't really call it New Japan independent, but all of the things that we don't cover, he takes care of for us, and he updates everybody with that. I'm going to reveal number 17, and I've been waiting for this one. Number 17 on my top 30 favorite WrestleMania matches. We are 17 weeks away from the Showcase of the Immortals, and yes, you saw correctly on the Eastern Observer. I did my failed attempt at Bill Shakespeare. I actually tried to write something, and I put out my my WrestleMania match predictions, my way too early predictions. Spoiler alert, one of them's already wrong. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show to hear the details of our Jim the Anvil Neidhart autograph giveaway. Where'd it go? Here we go. Jim the Anvil Neidhart autograph giveaway, picture courtesy of Sideline Sports and WWE memorabilia. So please make sure you stay tuned to the end. We will go over all the things you need to do to enter that contest. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, presented by Minutes to Bell Time, and sponsored, as always, as you saw on the opening graphic, by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. We're going to main event the show with those picks for, we got a big week ahead of us. We got a huge heavyweight championship match in All Elite Wrestling at Winter is Coming. Not to mention, we got War Games. I've been waiting for this one. We got two huge War Games matches to pick. We'll main event our show with them, but we're going to curtain jerk the show, and oh my God, we're going to curtain jerk the show with the 6 words us as wrestling fans have been waiting to hear for a week. Johnny Swinger is not guilty, Daddy. The swing man did it. He is not guilty. He is a free man. And probably one of the most, it was the joyful, I know it's on my phone and stuff here. John DeConnie, take us through. I watched the live last week. I was in stitches. I watched Wrestler's Court again this afternoon to make sure it was fresh in my head for this episode. And holy crap, I would have loved to have been a part of that.
Oh my God. Yeah. You can help me fill in. What I'm about to go over is a slightly edited version because I did not anticipate you being as giddy as I was. And I thought this would get a lot more of a fast forward than it's going to get. So I may miss a few things. Feel free to jump in.
Gotcha. I wrote down notes. I got pen and paper.
So the show opens with Scotty D'Amore talking to, as we found out, John Emmett Bravo's doctor. And before the doctor can really give him any news, Scotty tells him, "It's all right, pull the plug."
You pulled it.
So the doctor explains that he's gonna live, but he may not be the same John Emmett Bravo that you remember, which of course Scotty decides wouldn't be the worst thing. So we fast forward to the actual Wrestler's Court. Swinger is defended by his only somewhat friend in the company, Madison Rayne. The prosecutor, at least to start the segment, from the nation of litigation, DeLorean Brown. And of course, Judge Dreamer enters humming Man in the Box, his own theme song. Strikes the pose before he takes the bench. But it would not be long before Madison Rayne would object to the fact that the man who did the investigation of said shooting would also now make judgment on it. So real quick, we get DeLorean Brown and Judge Dreamer swapping spots. But unfortunately for Tommy, it did not come with chest protector. He was very upset about that. But, on we go with the show.
You better recognize.
Better recognize. Better recognize Uncle Phil in the powdered wig.
Yeah.
All right, so we start with the first. They call the first witness, Fallah Bahh, who of course is sworn in on the latest edition of the PWI 500. He doesn't have too much to say of note, but Cody Deaner is up next. He, of course, is the man who found the gun. Well, you've got the gun. Now you've got to do some evidence tracing. So AC Romero is brought in as the fingerprint expert, which he immediately points out he is not. But he did test the gun, and he did find Swinger's fingerprints, along with the fingerprints of just about everyone in the company, past and present.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Pillman. How about that? Pillman's prints are still on the gun from when he pulled out Austin.
What we're saying is that gun dates back to Raw in what, 1996, 97?
57, yeah. Like that.
So eventually Swinger would have to stand trial and answer for himself. And although Madison's expert angle was that this crime took a lot of planning and intellectual thought, a lot of forward thinking, if you will. And essentially she kind of went like, now take that sentence and look at the defendant. He should have been found innocent right there.
Why'd you bring the shovel, Daddy? Jeez.
So Swinger's main defense for himself was the fact that he's got T-shirts, he's got a shoe contract. He's the O.J. Simpson of professional wrestling, Daddy. Which, of course, prompted the question of, Swinger, when was the last time you read a newspaper? And, of course, his response was, 1991. Why? What'd I miss?
I missed something. I would have loved to have just been in on the creative meeting on this whole thing and just unbelievable.
I don't know if I could have kept a straight face for 30 seconds.
Yeah, so keep going. Then Rosemary took the stand as far as my notes go right after this.
Yeah, so we got Father James Mitchell.
Oh, Father James Mitchell. I'm sorry, I forgot Father James.
Father James Mitchell, who leads into Rosemary, of course, who admits at this point that she never loved Bravo. She was only using him for the ultimate power of his virgin blood on his wedding night.
That's it.
And this is the point where Bravo apparently woke up from his coma and walks in his hospital gown and calls her a big B.
Well, I believe they do have a medical facility inside Skyway Studios down in Nashville. So yeah, he was stationed there.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of makeshift since they were using a obvious coat hanger for an IV stand.
Yeah.
That was one of my first chuckles of the segment. So this leads us to Bravo. He's a little scattered, so at one point Dreamer had to reel him back in by grabbing and pulling at his catheter. And so Bravo says, as much as he's upset with Rosemary, he knows she didn't do it because he knows who did. But the lights were out, Johnny. How could you possibly know who shot you? I smelt him.
That's it.
And we go to commercial. We come back. Larry D is on the stand. Once again, he's hooked up to a lie detector, which I guess can now be forged out of a MacBook. But he's hooked up. He's questioned, and there is no deception. So Dreamer poses the question again. Did you shoot Johnny Bravo? Only this time, he reaches in his pocket and pulls out the signature scent of one Lawrence D, Ring Rust. He sprays Larry D. Larry D morphs into Lawrence D, who is all too happy to absolutely admit to shooting Bravo for stealing the woman of his dreams.
It was they circled right back to Wrestle House, and we thought that whole thing was pointless when we were watching it live. But no, Wrestle House was a nice segue into the wrestler's court. All of this was just absolutely amazing. I watched it again. I was dying. Real quick shout out to Isaiah Barber. Isaiah is a huge wrestling fan. Loves this podcast. Brother, we love that you're watching. We appreciate you. We're hoping you're enjoying the show. And like I said, we're glad we found out who shot Bravo. It was
thanks for joining us, Daddy.
There we go. So, but we're going to get right back into serious business here with Johnny Swinger because they just announced a match before we went on air. We're going to get right back into him and Cody Deaner. Cody Deaner, like I said, like you said, John the Con, he's so eloquent. He found the smoking gun in Swinger's fanny pack. He might be, and also he's a lot bitter. He's a lot bitter, not a little bitter. He's a lot bitter about losing to the Swingman a couple weeks back. Like, who loses to Swinger? Apparently 2 people, according to Minutes to Bell Time. So one of those wins was Cody Deaner a few weeks ago. John DeConnie, who do you got in this one? You got the Swingman keep rolling here?
Oh man, what a feel-good story it would be if he got on a roll here. But I think Cody and perhaps even Bailiff Big Cuz there are going to help him right that wrong and get the buy back. I'm going to go with Cody Deaner on this one.
All right, John Smith, you haven't chimed in. I know. Did you watch the segment? Did you watch it? Did you think that was that silly? Was it stupid? Like I was dying.
No, it was awesome. I mean, there was a lot of references I'm sure I didn't understand, but I mean, just the whole D'Lo Brown looking like Uncle Phil, like D'Lo going, damn! Oh, I always wanted to do that. That was probably my favorite part.
When they announced him as the prosecutor, he was walking down the aisle. He was doing the shoulder right there. I was dying. And then Swinger, forget John the guy. We had to Swinger had the neck breaks off for sympathy, Daddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, John Smith. Who do you got? Swinger versus Deaner.
I got the swingman, Daddy-O.
Swinger also defeated M. Jackson on April 14th. So Mike Jackson, I guess. All right. That's why we had Ryan Joy backstage. He helps us out with all this stuff that we can't think of off the top of our head. I'm going with the swingman as well. This is going to be a streak. This is that loaded fanny pack. There's going to be something else in it this time. So hopefully, I don't know. I just say this is too funny for this just to end on with a Cody Deaner buyback. That's just I don't know. John Smith, Rich Swann had a Impact Heavyweight Championship match. Going back to more serious wrestling with Impact. He defeated Ken Shamrock to retain the title with a reversal on the sleeper, a la Bret Hart on Roddy Piper, a la Bret Hart on Stone Cold Steve Austin from way back when. But then here comes Sammy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Sammy came out with Shamrock at the beginning and quickly got ejected for pulling on Rich Swann's leg. But then that gave Swann the chance to come off like a house of fire, get some offense in. But then it was pretty much Shamrock all match after that. Swann got some offense in here and there, but it was mostly just Shamrock beating him up and reversing what he was trying to do. And then you get to the end of the match. He's got an ankle lock on him, switches to that chokehold, and Swann stacks him up for the 1, 2, 3. And Shamrock was not pleased about that because he went and punched the referee right away.
You're the most dangerous maniac, right? That's what they call him now.
Exactly. So then Sammy comes out and starts beating up Swann, and then Eddie Edwards comes out, and then he just gets it handed to him, man. Oof. I don't remember what they did to him, but he was not looking good afterwards.
Yeah, it was gushing all down the side of the head, and that's the thing. If you see Sammy Callahan with a baseball bat, Eddie Edwards is not going to be too far behind to make sure that what he's going to do to somebody else doesn't happen. What happened to him is that Sammy broke his orbital bone. In like I said, in real life, you want to break kayfabe, whatever. It shattered. It was a screw up with the wrong style of chair. It was just bad. It's hard to watch. So Eddie Edwards always tries to make sure that it doesn't happen with anyone else. So to be continued. To be continued. We're picking right back up with Sammy and Eddie. Hopefully they stay safe. John DeConnie, the Good Brothers, they were teasing the Phenomenal One returning to fight Ethan Page. If Ethan Page got the win, then North would get the tag title match that was owed to him. The little loophole in the storyline here. They get a rematch in Impact. They still do that there. My guess was Sex Ferguson. I was wrong, but you got it right on the head. The Survivor Series tradition continues.
Yes. It was on us. We were mishearing them. It was not the Phenomenal One. It was the Wee-nominal One. AJ
the whole Taylor Tyler thing again. I thought I was talking to Tyler with the Proc Tyler. It was Taylor, my buddy Taylor. It had nothing to do with Tyler.
Yeah, that'll mess up the whole thing. So yes, we had AJ Swaggle. We had AJ Swaggle defeating Ethan Page with Alexander at ringside, who was pissed because very early on in the show, we found out that Doc Gallows is out 4 to 6 weeks, and Ethan Page was kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, taking credit for it. And Alexander was like, so we've got to wait 4 to 6 weeks to possibly get our titles back? What do you think, man? But Alexander was out there to support his buddy, and he at one point reached in to grab Swaggle's leg, which led to Karl Anderson coming down to break up the festivities. Page jawed a little bit with Anderson back and forth, and that allowed the Wee-nominal One to hit a schoolboy roll-up for the pin. And after the match, we had backstage afterwards, we had Brian Myers basically telling Swaggle, Crazy Steve, and TJP that they all suck.
Yeah, pretty much. He's the Baron Corbin of Impact, Brian Myers. He just rains on anyone. We'll get to that segment with Baron Corbin, Buzz Killington, I think I called him in my notes.
Professional bummer.
Yeah. Going further into Impact, Kimberly defeated Killer Kelly. It was kind of like a warm-up match for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship tournament. Kimberly had Deonna Purrazzo in her corner. Killer Kelly had Renee Michelle. Fun little fact about this little match: all 4 of these women Mayon Classic alumni. Let's see. I forget. The 2 of them were in the first one. I believe Renee Michelle and Kimberly were in the first one, and then Killer Kelly and Deanna Purrazzo were in the second one. So those are 4. These 4 can go. They can prove. They prove that they have. Kimberly got the win with a swanton off the top rope. Post match, we got to see both Susie and Su Yung. That was pretty crazy. You keep on forgetting. Now everything we watch is live. You forget that Impact. They kind of do this ahead of time. So I was waiting for some kind of swerve, like who's this new Su Yung? Who's the person? Oh wait, it is Su Yung. So they're playing games with Deanna Purrazzo and Kimberly. Look for that going into Final Resolution next weekend. We'll probably find out more about tonight because Deanna Purrazzo, she's making a deal with the devil here. She wants to father James Mitchell because he's one guy that specializes in Su Yung problems, and Deanna knows that. Kimberly knows that. They went, so who knows where they're going with that. But going with the Knockouts Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament, Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, they defeated the Sea Stars in a match that was filled with puns, so I'll just keep going with it. It was a whale of a match. Hogan won with the spinning neck breaker that got Del Miexo, hook, line, and sinker. And it really just seemed like the Sea Stars were small fish in a big pond here compared to what they're used to fighting. So, but maybe we'll see that again. So we'll look at the updated brackets. As you see, top parts of both ends of the brackets are complete. Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz, they won match, like I said. Havoc and Nevaeh, they defeated Tino Dashwood and Alicia Edwards 2 weeks ago. Going into tonight, continuing the tournament, we have aforementioned Killer Kelly and Renee Michelle. They're going to go against Jordynne Grace and her mystery partner that was announced last week. And she went with a heavy hitter, John DeConnie. She's going with Jazz. And this tournament just got a lot more interesting.
You are not kidding.
This one?
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're not bringing Jazz in, not for her to do a little flexing. So I think Jordynne and Jazz now are. If you had a bet on this tournament ahead of time, the odds just shifted a lot.
Yeah, they just shifted right down there. As Jazz has been out. We haven't seen Jazz in a while. I can't remember the last time I saw her recently. She's just like I mentioned. There was the match from WrestleMania 19. John Smith, the triple threat match, was in my WrestleMania top 30. It was Jazz, Trish Stratus, and Victoria, and Jim Ross as Jazz was walking down the aisle. That is a young-looking, mean Mike Tyson, and I mean that in the most positive way possible because she's about to whoop somebody.
Oh, yeah, she's going to whoop somebody tonight with Jordynne Grace. And you missed a softball with that Kiera and Tasha thing. They were making them see stars.
Ah, there you go.
Nice.
Ryan Joy chiming in. She was at the NWA 70th anniversary in 2018. It was the last time he saw Jazz. I don't remember watching that show, but who knows? I'm going with Jordynne and Jazz too. It's nice to see Killer Kelly and Renee Michelle. For those who don't know, Renee Michelle is the beautiful bride of Drake Maverick that was withholding sex from him while he was defending the 24/7 championship. Who knows if he ever got to consummate the marriage? So that'll be interesting to see where this tournament goes once that goes up. And the winner of that faces Tasha. No, the winner of that faces Havoc and Nevaeh. So that should be pretty interesting. Eric Young and Joe Doering interrupted a match between Falabot and Daivari. Rhino came out for redemption after the attack that Eric Young and Joe Doering did on Rhino, and we assumed did on Heath Slater. They shut the door. Slater's injured, so they just assumed that happened. So to continue with those. Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve. Okay, so let's rewind. They had a Rohit Raju defeat Rohit Open Challenge. Rohit Raju did not put the title on the line, so I'll take that as a win. So here we go as the scoreboard continues. That ties him with Eddie Edwards in the all-time Open Challenges. We're chasing John Cena here. Rohit Raju did not put the title on the line. He thought he was fighting Suicide, and it was absolutely incredible match. Everybody thought that he was going against TJP, including myself. But then here comes TJP at the top of the ramp. Hey, it's not him. They pulled the mask off, and it was Crazy Steve. And I was like, yes, that's 2 weeks in a row now. We got to see Crazy Steve, the actual wrestler. And I'm telling you, this guy is absolutely phenomenal. Not even the fact that he's blind. The fact that he's blind is even more incredible. But Crazy Steve can go, and he actually got the win in that match, which is going to lead us into tonight's X Division Championship match. Crazy Steve, he can come out dressed as himself with his monkey. He's going to be challenging Rohit Raju. And like I said, Rohit Raju, we're looking at history here. We're chasing Bruno Sammartino. Rohit Raju, today is day 109. You said they're already putting the countdown. He's chasing Bruno Sammartino for the longest championship reign in wrestling history. So, John Smith, what do you think Rohit Raju is going to do tonight?
You know what? I bet against Rohit Raju a lot lately, and I'm always wrong. So I'm going to bet on him this time. So I'm going with Rohit.
There you go. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I kept thinking it was time to change, but now, he finds a way. Man always finds a way. And there's got to be more to this putting off TJP because Rohit has the belt. So he's definitely, I believe he's going to carry it a little longer.
Yeah, and I made an error last week on air. I'm going to correct it right now because my beautiful bride, when we were watching last week, she likes to see who's under the mask. But she actually looked up who Suicide was. 2 weeks ago, Scott D'Amore was saying TJP can't challenge, but other people, other personas can. I know TJP was Puma. I know TJP was Manic. He was Suicide at one point. He was one of the Suicides. At one point, Suicide has been a recurring character with different people playing that character, including Caleb with a K, which blew my mind. Caleb with a K was Suicide for 3 years, actually. So that just blows my mind. That is the guy that's taken Emma. That's 10 push-ups. Taking Tennille Dashwood's photos was actually Suicide for 3 years. Chris Bay was in the back. He was trying to sweet talk Rich Swann into a heavyweight championship match, saying, this is dollars, this is money. You can feel the money in his wallet already. You can see it now on the marquee. Rich Swann versus Chris Bay. He told Willie to take a hike because he had to talk business, called Willie the loser, and that's where we're going with this one. So, John Smith, will leave you again. You got Big Willie, who has the greatest entrance music in wrestling today, or we're going to go as a Tuesday night?
I don't know. I think they got something planned for Bay, so I'm going to go with Bay on this one.
I agree. I'm going to go as a Willie Mack. Ryan Joy likes to go with the records. Willie Mack has lost, let's just go with 6 of his last 7, and his only win was a reverse decision because Moose was beating him up too badly after he lost. So, John DeConnie.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Willie Mack, but I think the losing continues here because it seems like there's something in the works for Bay.
All right, the last match that we have pegged for tonight, Alex Shelley, he's back. He's looking good. He's ready to roll. The Motor City Machine Guns, they have a 3-pronged game plan for their future. The second step of the plan is the North. The third step of the plan is the Good Brothers and regaining the Tag Team Championship. But the first part of the plan is Triple XL after they attacked Shelley while he was hurting from the attack from the North after Bound for Glory. So they're going to get at it tonight. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Give me the Machine Guns here. I want to see them get back in the title hunt.
John Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Machine Guns also.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with them as well. If they got a 3-pronged attack to get them back to the tag titles, you got to think they got to, they usually win the first 2. The third one's the only one that's in question if they, they follow through on their mission. So we'll take it easy. We'll take the easy. I won't say it's a layup, but we'll take the win over Triple XL. Gentlemen, we're going to bid you adieu for a few minutes here. We are going to bring in Gary Mehaffy.
Get my groceries.
We have to put the Impact logo up. So. We're going to bring in Gary Mehaffy all the way overseas, Northern Ireland. Gary, let me get that off your head. There we go. How's everything going today? Top of the evening to you.
Not going too bad. Things are good. All the better for being here.
Yeah, and we always appreciate to have you. This tournament, we started off strong. At least I think I did, picking Noam Dar. I thought you had a little bit of an upset with Flash Warrior Webster out in the first round. We didn't do a very good job picking this tournament because we were wrong again in the final. A-Kid got it done in overtime in an absolutely thriller of a match. And the match, we knew that one was we weren't wrong about that. We knew this was going to be great. But A-Kid got it done.
We were just being humble and letting other people. We didn't like to show off our knowledge. That's what it was. No, that really was. I mean, considering when they signed A-Kid at first, the whole talk was great flyer, great potential. Let's see what they do. Mm-hmm. And actually, the whole way through this tournament, he has shown himself to be unbelievably fundamentally sound. And the match that they had was superb. And can I say, in case I do forget, I want to give a big shout out to the referee of that match, because there were things that happened during it when he was giving the guys time cues and he was in the right place, but stayed out of the way, if you know what I mean. He did a brilliant job in that match too. He was an integral part of that. It was brilliant, but it was just a superb match.
Well, that's something I wouldn't even think to look for. I kind of really just don't even pay attention to the referee unless he gets knocked down, but that's good. Cool, guy. He won with that Liu Kang kick. That's what I'm calling it for Mortal Kombat. They haven't come up with the name of it yet. He got the pinfall in the third. Trent Seven hit with a matchbook cover with 30 seconds left in the sixth to send it to overtime. And then A-Kid again, and that bread and butter is that stretch submission, that where he ties his arms. I don't even know what we call that either. As they punched Alf in the face right there. I'm sorry. But he's won all three of his second falls in the tournament with that move.
Yeah, I mean, he has. And actually, even it was funny because when I was watching it, they obviously did the false finish in the fifth round as well, when he almost had him beat and the bell went when he was at like 2.5. But it really was, you say, he's won the matches, the second fall with that hold. They're really putting him over strong. And it's good to see. I mean, obviously, the hope was, or I thought, right, they'll put Trent Seven over and make it a here's my one last run type thing. But to give the future their nod and to give it the A-Kid and put a bit of steam behind him, I thought was a really good move. It was an incredible match. They're a really, really good tournament.
Yeah, I think, and I really hope this comes a yearly tradition. Hopefully, it's on the same time next, October, November. We're talking about this again, and then, like I said, we have the Dusty Rhodes, because they did it with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That's hopefully going to be starting up soon as well. I believe, hopefully, I think they did it in January last year. So, Jordan Devlin, he had his first defense since the pandemic. We'll just keep it at that. I don't know if he's defended it before. I know he won it in January at Worlds Collide. But he had a nice win with the Texas Clover Leaf over Amir Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, Amir Jordan got a little bit more offense than I thought he would, but Devlin was always in control. And it does look to me, if they can do like some sort of when Worlds Collide type situation again in the new year, they're keeping Devlin strong. They're really pushing the fact of, like, I'm the cruiserweight champ. There's nobody else is. Like, everybody needs to come fight me. And so he really is. You're gonna keep pushing them through. I do assume down the line that Kenny Williams, Amir Jordan's tag partner, will get his shot when he's fully fit. So I assume that'll happen at some point as well. But they really are keeping Devlin really strong.
Yeah, they are. I know we're kind of waiting for a Worlds Collide here. Actually, I've been kind of promoting myself here, put myself over with my Way Too Early WrestleMania article that I wrote for the Eastern Observer. I did throw some takeover matches in there just for fun without really any explanations. That people, I put about 15 matches of WrestleMania. I'm sure people were sick of reading at that point in time. So I didn't
I saw you have them against Kushida. Yeah, so
I had Kushida. I had Kushida eventually beating. That's just been mine and Tyler's thing since episode 1. Is we want to see Kushida as the cruiserweight champion. And Kushida's been winning a lot lately. He's on a nice little win streak, and he's looking great. And we just kind of think that him and Santos would be absolutely amazing. Yeah. For like a January takeover, and then if you put him, Kushida and Devlin, that would be absolutely just.
It would be absolutely immense. It would be superb.
With the women's division, I love how they throw at least one women's division match each week. This week it was Ginny and Isla Dawn. Ginny got it done with her version of the STF.
Yeah, I mean, and again, when the match was over, I mean, she called out Piper Niven and keeps taunting Piper. Yeah. But I did think it was interesting. It was during commentary and stuff as well. They were talking about how Isla Dawn needs to get a bit of momentum going. She needs to get something happening. And then she lost again. So there were a few subtle things throughout the whole episode where the commentators are dropping stuff in. And I'm actually hoping that they use this long term and they start to call back to stuff like this, that maybe in the next month or so you'll see Isla Dawn getting a wee bit more aggressive and stepping things up a wee bit to try and show what she's got.
Yeah, like I said, they're dubbing her as the White Witch, right? You know, she's the face and whatever. You know, you kind of, she probably has it in that character where she's gonna snap and I don't want to say, you know, cast spells on people, but like, you know, there's got to be a darker side to Isla Dawn lurking in there somewhere. I think they're just waiting for the right time, and that's how you bring the worst out of people. They're on a losing streak. They lose, and then they eventually snap, and then all of a sudden they start winning again. So yeah, good call on that. Look for that with Isla Dawn. And Gary, I know when you were watching NXT UK, you know the biggest part of the episode for me, the biggest smile I had on my face was Noam Dar announcing the Supernova 11 Supernova session. They're coming soon. They didn't say when they were going to debut. Brian Joy and I briefly discussed it. I don't know if we discussed it on air or not on Monday on the Daily Wrestling News Show. But who would you think is, if this is an interview show, who would his first guest be? There's only one obvious choice.
I don't know. I found it. I was trying to think, but I honestly couldn't figure it out.
I would be himself. He would the only person that would want to interview would be himself. That's.
I thought you were going to say Zab Brookside. No.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's going to be the session. That's going to be the one. That's going to be.
Yeah. No, I could see him doing something even like a Trent Seven, actually bringing him on and just completely mocking him for being an old timer and being in the past that they can't do it anymore, and it takes it an entirely different direction. So, but it'll be good because he does have charisma hanging out of him. Noam, he really does. So
yeah, and this is going to be a cheap way for him to get book himself into matches and book himself into feuds, because all he needs to have a guest and kind of do what Miz does and just talk trash, and then that's there you go, off and running. We got 2 matches booked for this week, Air. Your guys are back in action. We have Flash Morgan, Webster, and Mark Andrews. We haven't seen them since the relaunch. They're going against the Hunt with Eddie Dennis, who said the Hunt have been behind the attacks throughout the course of the year that have put Andrews on the shelf, and more recently, Flash Morgan Webster after his Heritage Cup match. Who do you got in this one, pal?
I think while I would love to say that Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews will do it, I think there'll be shenanigans of some sort. Eddie Dennis will be involved somehow, and I think that the Hunt are going to take it by hook or by crook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I think I was just doing something in my head. Did you say the Hunt? I'm sorry. Did you say the Hunt? Who did you pick? I'm sorry.
The Hunt.
Yeah,
I think
I'm going with the Hunt too. That was my exact thing. Just if they just got Eddie Dennis, you might as well use him right off the bat, right? That makes the most sense. And then we got a great match. We're not wasting any time with this one. After the altercation that we talked about in passing last week, after Joe Coffey's victory over Sam Gradwell, Alexander Wolf had some things to say. Wolf went into Sid Scala's office and demanded that this match happen without Gallus at ringside. Scala said sure, but Imperium can't be there either, so we're going to have a one-on-one here.
Yeah, this is not going to be a Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. exhibition match. No. This will be 2 boys knocking each other's head in. And I can see that Joe Coffey going over. I think they really are. They're putting a lot of steam behind Joe and Gallus in general, and I think that Joe Coffey will come out on top.
Yeah, I completely agree with that 100%. I think if Alexander Wolf wins this is going to set Gallus back. If they win it clean, I guess maybe Alexander Wolf could cheat. I guess that's always a chance to. There's something where Joe Coffey doesn't look the weaker of the two, because Joe Coffey is a bad man, and he looks good right now with the working out he did in between the pandemic. So, So, Gary, thank you as always for staying up late with us. We appreciate you. I know you don't celebrate over there, but we were thankful for you on Thursday. We were thankful to watch the Heritage Cup final because, like I predicted, that Lions game was just absolutely awful. It gave me something to make me smile on my Thanksgiving Thursday in the afternoon. So, Gary, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week, my friend.
Yes, I shall see you then. See you all later.
All right, we are going to bring back in John Smith and John DeConnie. There we go. Gentlemen, how's everything going? I hope you didn't miss us too much. We're going to jump right into Friday Night Smackdown. And there was a lot going on this Friday. This was one of the more jam-packed episodes of SmackDown that I can remember in recent memory started off with a Roman Reigns and Jey Uso promo. Roman was not very concerned. Roman has been very concerned recently with how people are looking at him. He wants to be respected. He wants to be feared. And then Jey Uso don't help him with that. He was reprimanding Jey Uso for helping him during the Drew McIntyre fight at Survivor Series. They didn't ask for your help. There was a whole thing. And then after Roman left, Jey was walking up the aisle. Otis came out for his match against Baron Corbin. Jey Uso decided to crack him with a chair and put some fear into Otis and make Otis respect Jey Uso and thus Roman Reigns. And then he interfered with the Daniel Bryan match. We'll get to that in a second with Jey Uso. And then Kevin Owens had enough. Then John Smith, take it away. I'm blabbering here. This was just a lot to take in to end up with Kevin Owens just having it up to here with Roman Reigns.
Yeah, man. I mean, Roman said to Jey at the beginning of the show, "Nobody fears you. That's why they didn't listen to you. That's why you guys got blown out in the Survivor Series match. People don't fear you." And Jey really took that to heart with that attack on Otis. He beat the living crap out of him with that chair. And Otis has literally nothing covering his body. He's got like a little tighty whities on that you can barely see under his stomach. And he's just getting wailed on. And then later on in the show, Jey interrupts, or you don't know it yet, but Jey interrupts the Sami Zayn Daniel Bryan match by destroying Daniel Bryan in the backstage. You know, it's all about getting people to fear you now for Jey, because they fear Roman, but not him. And if they don't fear him, they don't respect Roman. So Kevin Owens wants no part of that, though. Kevin Owens does not fear Roman or Jey Uso, and he showed him by doing the same thing to Jey that Jey did to Otis and Daniel Bryan after their match was over.
Yeah, Kevin Owens, like I said, we've seen a feud with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns before. I don't know why. It was right after the 2016 Survivor Series, so it was the Royal Rumble 2017, where Roman Reigns challenged Kevin Owens for the Universal title, and I believe our beloved Chris Jericho was hanging in a shark cage that match. So these guys have tangled before, and Kevin Owens has had the upper hand. So I guess that's where the no fear, zero miedo, I guess if you want to put it that way, comes from. Yeah, right. Kevin Owens, baby. There you go. And then Johnny, we'll stay with you, right? And as we mentioned, Sami Zayn, he defeated Daniel Bryan via countout to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Against Sami Zayn, he's just finding ways to retain that title, but he's winning. He's getting the winner's purse. You know that when you win a wrestling match, you get more money than you do when you lose. You know.
Absolutely, but I don't think a guy like Sami Zayn really cares about money, right?
Yeah, not American money, at least, right? After he wants those purple $5 Canadian bills with the hockey on the back, with the hockey ring.
Yeah, well, I mean, he cut a great promo before that match, and, you know, he basically said, Daniel Bryan, I beat you at WrestleMania, I can beat you again. They had a nice match, and then they fought to the back because he was trying to weasel his way out, but he was just suckering him to the back. And then he beelined it right back to the ring at the count of 9 to get inside. And where the hell is Daniel Bryan? Oh, yeah, getting beat up by Jey Uso in the back.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, he didn't just beat him for 3 seconds, he beat him for 10. That's a nice little spin on winning by countout by Sami Zayn. Beautifully done. There was a backstage segment after that where he actually did shoot up Daniel Bryan. He respects Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's the best in-ring guy he's ever fought. So it was a nice little respect there from Sami Zayn, who's supposed to be a heel, onto Daniel Bryan, because they fought all the way back to their Ring of Honor days. Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson and El Generico, or whatever, Generico, or whatever you pronounced what Sami Zayn did before he went to NXT. But then Sami ran into Big E. So look for that. You know, Sami actually mentioned Big E's Intercontinental title reign. I have it down. Big E, it was forgettable. You know, most people don't realize that Big E was an Intercontinental champion. He won it on Raw in 2013 by defeating Curtis Axel. Held it for 167 days before he lost to Bad News Barrett at Extreme Rules 2014. So that is your forgettable Big E 167-day title run. So I don't think that's anything to forget. 167 is a long time.
Yeah, I remember him being champion. I would have said he was probably champion for a month and a half.
Yeah, not for as long. That shocked me when I saw the 167. John DeConnie, we had a non-title match that's usually recently been going in the favor of the Street Profits. This one didn't work out so well.
No, it did not. We thought we were getting the Street Profits, the ending that we're starting to get used to. We had Dawkins hit that double underhook spinning neck breaker thing that he busted out at Survivor Series. He hit it again this week on Ziggler, and that he rolled out. Then Rude walked right into his one-handed somewhere between a choke slam and a spine buster. Which set him up for Montez Ford to jump into the goddamn lighting structure and come down with a splash. But Ziggler came back just in time to break that up at 2. Ziggler hit a super kick on Dawkins and tip of the cap to Dawkins for doing a borderline Ric Flair belly flop on his way out of the ring. He then attempted to follow that up with a super kick to Ford, which Ford caught, tossed Ziggy to the floor. But Rude was then able to hit the roll-up, and I think it was bad camera work because I think we were supposed to see Rude grabbing a handful of tights because Ford was wiggling like crazy, but just could not seem to get out of that pin. But Rude and Ziggler get the victory, which of course will in all likelihood lead to a title shot.
Yeah, they tag team out in the pay-per-view in a couple weeks. Maybe they can hold it off till that. Tables, ladders, and chairs is no reason why I can't put the Street Profits and Rude and Ziggler in one of those stipulations. That'd be a lot of fun.
Sure.
The Mysterios were backstage celebrating that they're done with Seth Rollins. They're finally the PWI has to be the feud of the year. PWI feud of the year. The Mysterios versus Seth Rollins is now officially over. The Mysterios are in the back celebrating, and as I mentioned, here comes Buzz Killington, King Corbin. He had some things to say to every single one of them. It ended up being a match between Murphy and Baron Corbin. And the Mysterios did a pretty good job impersonating Retribution here. They were all over the place, causing distractions, being very, very face-like. And it cost Baron Corbin the match. Buddy Murphy got the win, I believe. I don't remember how we got it done. Anyway, they're going at it again, I guess is the point. Baron Corbin wants to go at it again. He wants no distractions from the Mysterios. He wants a one-on-one contest with Buddy Murphy. So, John DeConnie, who do you have in this one?
Well, I'll be very interested to see what, after Corbin called them all spineless cowards, he said, I'll be prepared next week. Very interested to see what exactly that means, if he's going to have backup or, some kind of gimmick going on. But I'm going to take Corbin because, usually when the bad guy calls his shot like that, he's going to come up with something dastardly.
Yeah, he's going to say he's coming prepared this time. This was a last-minute match set up. Baron Corbin was supposed to face off against Otis John Smith. Otis was taken out, as you mentioned. So Corbin just kind of picked a fight here and ended up biting him in the you-know-what, the tush. John Smith, what do you got in this one?
Yeah, I guess it's Corbin, but, I don't like the direction that this is going. I don't want to see Corbin versus Mysterio family feud. But yeah, I got Corbin.
Alrighty. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin as well. Like I said, yeah, exactly. John DeConnie, you're going to call a shot. He's coming prepared, which means he's got a week to think of an idea on how to screw Murphy out of the win on this one. Sasha Banks finally got some of Carmella in a backstage promo. And then staying in the women's division on the con, actually in a match, Bianca Belair, she got to Natalya after a roll-up after she powered out of the sharpshooter. Miss Bayley was at ringside as well.
Yeah, Bayley was on commentary, so of course the match spilled out right in front of her. And Bianca took a big swing at Natty. Natty ducked. Bayley, of course, got it right in the chops. So that led, once they got back inside, to Bayley getting up on the ring apron, doing a little jaw-jacking. As you said, Natty attempted the sharpshooter. Bianca kicked her off, which bumped Bayley to the floor. It disoriented Natty for a minute and allowed Bianca to get the roll-up. She gets the pin, she gets the win, and afterwards her and Bayley do a little jaw-jacking back and forth. Look for more of that to come. But, of course, Bianca can, leave tall buildings in a single bound, so it doesn't look good for Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey's. Yeah, ding dong. Hello. I don't know what that's a tall one. That's a tough one. And staying with the women's division, we found out that on Billie Kay's resume, she has an extensive background in talking.
And isn't it wonderful when we get to hear her talk?
Yeah, it's iconic. We're going into lastly on Raw, John DeConnie. There's a lot going on all over the place on both shows. With SmackDown, it was Roman and Jey Uso with Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan and Otis. It was just, now you got on Raw. It dwindled itself down as AJ Styles got the win in a sudden death triple threat. Now, I have two things with that. One, I know the obvious, aren't all triple threats sudden death. And two, just throwing it out there, I prefer instant victory. But AJ Styles won the match. He's going to challenge Drew McIntyre at TLC. And then you go to Miz TV. Sheamus was on it. Miz said that Sheamus' career sucked pretty much. Hit him twice with the briefcase. And then Miz went to AJ Styles saying, I need your help with the cash. And AJ just flat out agreed with it because it's going to be easier to beat The Miz than it is Drew McIntyre, which I guess that's a fair point. And I don't, if you have to pick.
Morrison agreed.
Yeah, even Johnny Morrison, got you, yeah. And then you go to the main event with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus against The Miz and Morrison, and AJ got involved like he said he was going to.
Yeah. So we got, as you said, McIntyre, Sheamus versus Miz and Morrison. AJ is on commentary. His buddy Omos, who we finally have a name for, is out there with him. And somewhere, we had a little bit of back and forth. And at one point, we get Morrison pulling Sheamus off the apron and kind of tossing him into the crowd or the screens, if you will, leaving McIntyre with no one to tag. But AJ Styles, he wasn't into waiting to see exactly how that was going to work itself out. He just jumped up on the ring apron, slingshot into a phenomenal forearm, therefore giving McIntyre and Sheamus the DQ if you're scoring at home. And that led to Morrison hitting Starship Pain on McIntyre, Miz hitting a skull-crushing finale, and almost handing AJ the briefcase, and AJ trying to cash in on behalf of the Miz, but Miz wasn't quite sure he was ready for it, and that little bit of dilly-dallying allowed McIntyre to get back to his feet, so now it was definitely not a good time to cash in.
Yeah.
So Miz and Morrison kind of bailed. AJ started to, McIntyre started to walk down AJ, but luckily his boy Omos was right there behind the ropes, kind of picked him off, kind of took him right out of the ring, flipped him onto his shoulder, and just like the little cartoon dog, in any Hanna-Barbera you want, the whole way up the ramp, we got AJ just barking at McIntyre. You're so lucky. He just saved your life. Wait to put me down. Let me get my hands on you.
Let me at him.
Let me at him. It was fantastic. He talked trash all the way up, or 3/4 of the way up the ramp until the show went off the air.
Yeah, so the bottom line of all that is, it's going to be Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles. We don't have to wait for WrestleMania for that one. We get it in 2 weeks. So the show began with a moment of bliss. Randy is going to use the same philosophy he did against Bray Wyatt back in 2016, I want to say. Was it 2016? 17. 2017, because they were together in 16. Okay, so 2017, where Randy found out what would hit Bray pretty much in the heart, and it was the house that he burned down, which is why the Fiend is coming back after Randy. And Randy thinks he's got to figure it out again, and he's thinking Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is kind of like, well, who's playing who here, Randy? So it was a nice little altercation between the two, verbal, and then the Fiend came out, and Randy had her nerve. I think Randy's in trouble on this one. This doesn't just. I think this is an act by the Fiend and Alexa Bliss to make it think that Randy's got them, and they just don't. Randy's got Friendship Frog written all over him, I think, coming up. in the next couple of weeks. John Smith, we had a Symphony of Destruction match that almost ended in, I guess, Symphony of Concussion.
Pretty much, and not to the loser.
Yeah, I know. See, we can make a joke about it because he didn't get a concussion. Like, he's okay. When it came out, as Brian Joy called him yesterday, our Lord and Savior Dave Meltzer said he was okay. So,
yeah, well, who's saying he didn't have a concussion? The doctors that are paid by WWE.
Yeah,
anyway, I mean, the match itself was awesome. I haven't seen a good Jeff Hardy match in a while, so I'm not the biggest Jeff fan, but I love Elias, so I feel like they go well together. Hopefully this feud isn't over, but besides that chair or that steel steps to the back of the head, I mean, when you saw Elias electrocute himself, clearly he didn't actually get electrocuted, but I think he sold it pretty well. I mean, it's not. They said Marv from Home Alone. No, that was cheesy. Like the way Elias sold it was like how you actually would get electrocuted. But I digress.
Yeah, well, all you have to do to learn how to act is to rewatch whatever year WCW event that was where Scott Hall tasered Goldberg. That's how you act when you get shot. Because he actually did. So, Jeff Hardy ended up being okay. He got the win. We were talking about pre-production. Long story short, that was just a bad idea for everybody for Jeff to try that. We're glad he's okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think that this ruins Elias's career because it gives him a gold dust-esque stutter?
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that'd be pretty funny. He can't.
And that literally just came to me now.
Yep. Yeah, the last time we saw somebody get electrocuted, Goldust ended up with a stutter because of it. Yeah. Wow. And then of course, it just comes out of nowhere. That fact that R-Truth was hidden in that piano was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
I think what they do is they give R-Truth the script to the show, and it's like, listen, where are you going to come out?
Yeah.
You tell us when you're coming out, and then we'll send the guys after you. Oh, there's going to be a piano out there? I'll hide in there. Send them out when they find me. John DeConnie, sticking with you. We're going to give you the Hurt Business segment this week. We're going to give John Smith the week off of the Hurt Business. Lashley jumped Riddle backstage after Riddle, again, came out with some pretty asinine ideas to pitch the MVP. The MVP didn't really want to hear, so looks like Lashley and Riddle are going to be getting at it. But a great match between Cedric Alexander and Xavier Woods.
Yeah, it started. Obviously, they're planting the seeds of something here. Because it started with Benjamin MVP and Cedric coming down to ringside to chop it up a little bit with the New Day, and Cedric basically didn't wait for the rest of his cohorts, jumped in the ring, which eventually led to the match, of course. And then those two can. The match was between Cedric Alexander and Xavier Woods. And, of course, those two can flat out go. So we had ourselves quite an interesting match. And getting towards the ending sequence, we had Cedric going for a suicide dive that Woods kind of avoided and tossed him into the barricade. Eventually, it wound up back inside. And for no apparent reason, I guess Woods just was sleeping for a half a second. Cedric hit the lumbar check out of nowhere for the win. And then Cedric, once again, kind of leaving his boys behind, celebrated all the way up the ramp, leaving MVP and Shelton like, where's it going? Where's the post-match hug? What's going on here? So clearly there's something happening there, perhaps a rift in the Hurt Business.
Yeah, I think it's unintentional. Right? I think Cedric's maybe just getting too fired up. He's just like,
I think it's going to be like a personality switch for Cedric a little bit, and then then they'll get used to it. Like, hey, I think he's going to be like a flashy diva type moving forward.
Just like we do with the Hurt Business every week, we have our weekly Retribution update. Big match, actually. Steak Knife got the win over Ricochet with that spinning, twerking suplex after a ton of distractions from Mustafa Ali, Tablespoon, and Fork. I actually got really excited for this match. We came up with those at Survivor Series, right? I actually got excited about that. You're gonna give me, Ricochet and Shane Thorne. Like, I got up for that. I'm like, oh my god, yes, I want this match. So I was glad I got it. I'm glad Steak Life got the win. And then Teacup, she got her first. She got her first action in the ring as well. So welcome to the big leagues, Mia Yim. Dana Brooke got the win on her though with a roll up after a failed distraction from Mustafa Ali. Ali kind of let Mia have it at the end of that match. What was the exact quote? There's no failure in retribution, amongst other things. So, glad to see it on TV. It wasn't the best, I guess, debut for our beloved Mia Yim, who I know a lot of people are big fans of hers, and a lot of people have been waiting for her to be on the main roster and do some damage. So that's have to kind of wait on that for now for her to break out of retribution. But John Smith, the last match we have to talk about. Normally, when you beat a champion, you get a match the following week. This is not the case in the women's tag team championships. That you get them again, but again, it's going to be non-title.
Yeah, but now that it's 2 weeks in a row that Lana has pinned Shayna Baszler, I think they've definitely earned their shot. They had some backstage stuff going on beforehand. Asuka screaming at Lana positively. And then Lana getting interviewed, and she's like, "Oh, you wouldn't understand." It's like, neither would you, Lana.
Yeah, no,
and then you see Shayna and Nia Jax, jawing at each other about whose fault it is for the loss last week.
Yep.
Leads you right into them losing again this week from similar situation, and I think this all ends with Lana pinning Nia Jax for those tag team championships at TLC.
I feel like this is going to be the Survivor Series wasn't one. She didn't do anything for that win. Great, it's fun. She's a sole survivor. It's down and she's in the books, as Shawn Michaels said about Leon Ruff. You're in the books, like you can't take it away. But she really didn't do anything. Now she gets that win for the tag titles. Like that's going to be something fun. Gentlemen, we're going to bid you do again one last time before we bring you back in for our picks for Winter is Coming and for War Games. Like I said, if you didn't get to the grocery store, please do so now. Please make sure you tell your loved ones that you are thankful for them if you didn't get to do it last Thursday. We'll see you in a minute. I'm going to try to do this different this time. There we go. I'll get those off first. All right, we're going to bring in Ryan Joy from MinutesToBellTime.com, as well as the Daily Wrestling Morning News Show. I just botched that completely. Daily Wrestling News Show. Sorry, the word morning isn't in there. The Daily Wrestling News Show that you can see every Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Enjoy your morning cup of joy. With Ryan and friends. He has different co-hosts on every week. I've made a couple of appearances. I've had an absolute great time, Ryan. You're doing really well with it. I'm having a blast. I'm even watching when I'm not on.
The best part is just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If I had to kind of say what's the show about, it's like, well, it's wrestling, and then it's fun, right? I mean, we're making jokes and kind of picking out those elements of the show to talk about, and then extrapolating. Yes, we talk about the news, but then we say, well, what's fun about that news? And then, things like that. So
yeah, you call Dave Meltzer our Lord and Savior. I was literally, I don't know if you saw, I was taking a sip of coffee at the time, and I almost spit it all over my kitchen floor, which would have not been good.
The Lord our God.
The Lord our God.
Exactly. But hey, happy birthday. Happy 30th birthday. The show.
Yes, thank you so much for the opening, the music. We really do appreciate that. We've been waiting for something like this for a long time, and we're going to use it for a lot of episodes to come. We are looking forward to it, so thank you so much for that. But going to New Japan, Ryan, what would you like to lead with first?
Well, I would like to ask you, what kind of birthday cake do ghosts like? Ice cream cake.
Ice cream. Hey.
Yeah, and the pickles relish their birthdays. So moving on to the best of the Super Juniors. Let's go there first.
We should have had you for the Sea Star segment, if you're going to make all those puns.
So, update on the best of the Super Juniors. We have two people in the lead, Hiromu Takahashi and Taiji Ishimori. They have 10 points. Behind them, you have three people, Master Wato, Sho, and El Desperado. Now, the interesting thing here is that tomorrow morning, bright and early, we have another Super Juniors set of matches. In that lineup, you have Master Wato facing Bushi, you have Taiji Ishimori facing Desperado, and you have Hiromu Takahashi facing Sho. If Wato, Desperado, and Sho win, then you've got a 5-way tie at 8 points heading into there'll be 2 more matches left. So it is a pretty wide open field in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Right now, Takahashi is technically the leader with 10 points and an advantage.
All right, and then is it the top 2 placeholders? They, I guess, meet in the final, if you want to, I guess, call it that.
Yeah, that's right. The finals will be a week from Friday.
All right, and just out of curiosity, if you know off the top of your head, I don't mean to put you on the spot here. Kushida, how many times has he won this thing?
Kushida?
Yeah.
I do not know.
Okay, I know like this was the whole reason. It was this particular tournament that Tyler and I, way back when, episodes 1 through 3, when that round robin cruiserweight title tournament was going on for the interim championship. We got to make sure we say that correctly. I don't want Jordan Devlin to get upset. For the interim championship, we had Kushida pegged like they're doing this specifically for him. This is right up his alley, and it was because of this tournament. Because of this. And we were wrong.
Well, good showing from him, though.
It was great. He was 3. He lost he lost the last 2 matches. I forget what it was.
And I think
the World Tag League. Where are we at with that?
Yeah, so with the World Tag League, similar situation, except Ishii and Yano are the clear leaders right now with 10 points. However, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams behind them with 8 points. So this thing is completely wide open. There are 2 matches left in the tournament. Each team has 2 matches left. On Friday, Yano and Ishii face the current Tag League champions, Finley and Juice Robinson. So who knows? Really, it's hard to say at this point who's going to be coming out the winner in this thing. It's kind of a mess, really.
Yeah, and like I said, Toru Yano is like, how is he not? I guess maybe I should put it this way: is he the front runner now? Like, is it between him and Rohit Raju as like wrestlers of the year for 2021? Because it just seems like he won the last tournament, and now he's in first place in this tournament. Like, he is just all over the place.
Well, Baron Corbin aside, Yano is holding the trophy that makes him the king of pro wrestling.
There you go.
And nobody has won with more roll-ups in 2020. I don't think that.
You gave me some MLW matches to throw up here for the Opera Cup.
Yeah, sure. You have which one are you putting up first?
I'm a huge low-key fan, so I'm going to go with him. I'm going to pick him to win this whole thing.
How about that? Low-key and Davey Boy Smith Jr. in the main event of Major League Wrestling's show tomorrow night. This is an Opera Cup opening round match. It is a rematch of an Opera Cup opening round match last year. Davey Boy Smith won the whole tournament last year, so he technically, I guess, he has the advantage going into this match. Should be a good match. It's the main event. MLW is excited for it, so I guess we should be too. It's your Dynamite NXT pre-show.
Ryan, like I said, if we're ever on a game show together, and the question for you is, what is Al's favorite tag team of all time? It is Triple X, and it mostly is because of Low K. I just fell in love with him the first time I saw him for NWA TNA way back in 2002.
I'm confused because I thought Triple X was AC Romero and Larry D.
No. Actually, I don't know why Low Key wasn't on it, but I got some action figures too here. I got them on my wall. I got Christopher Daniels and Neelix Skipper. Apparently, they didn't sell the 3-pack with Low K, but it was all 3 of them. Multiple-time tag team champions, and they owned America's Most Wanted back then. It was so much fun watching them beat those guys. But I digress. The Opera Cup, right? There we go.
Yeah, the Opera Cup. So Laredo Kid, he's going to have a heck of a month this month. Laredo Kid is facing off with ACH in another opening round match. Now, Laredo Kid also will be challenging for the AAA Mega Championship against Kenny Omega at AAA Triple Mania 28, which is on December 12th. So big month for Kenny Omega, big month for Laredo Kid, a big month for Jon Moxley, all the way around. So that's that.
We're gonna dive deep. I know you and your cousin dove pretty deep into Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega this morning, as well as that Battle Royal. We will definitely get into all that. And wow. So absolutely.
Couple more things.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
MLW aside, Ring of Honor, they have announced their first match for Final Battle. That's coming up December 18th. That'll be the match they've announced is Jay Briscoe versus EC3 in what they're calling a grudge match. So Mark Briscoe's upset because he would really like to go for the tag titles, but Jay is preoccupied with EC3. So
yeah. All right.
And that should round it out for what we know about MLW and Ring of Honor and NWA. They had a show. They're competing with us right now, as we talked about last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that NWA. Yeah, we're just going to stop talking about them.
Well, I'll tell
Watch them later. Watch them later. Watch us now. You can watch them later. They're on YouTube. You can watch them anytime you want.
My understanding is it's reruns.
Oh, so is it really? Oh.
We have live content. They're replaying what they played on Primetime Live.
You know, I'm wondering why you're not giving me new matches to put up for them. Like, and also like new graphics, new matches, and whatnot. I guess they're running reruns. So with that, though, we are going to bring back in John DeConte and John Smith. John Smith looks like he's settled in, ready to roll. There we go. Gentlemen, we're going to talk AEW at this time. Let me get that up there first. Let's find our names. There we go. Real quick rundown. What happened last week, and then Ryan will give you a chance to talk as well. In the main event, the Butcher and the Blade defeated Pac and Ray Phoenix, the members of the Death Triangle. After the Blade and Butcher hit their neckbreaker powerbomb combo for the pin. They did that after actually Eddie Kingston crotched Phoenix on the road, and that led that to that powerbomb combination. And then here comes Lance Archer, and let the bleep show begin. Lance Archer was just running amok. Him and Eddie Kingston, I guess they're still bringing back up old memories from the Battle Royal. Just like you, Ryan. You keep on bringing up that Battle Royal that Eddie Kingston was never eliminated from.
You brought it up this time.
I know. I'm allowed to kick the dead horse once. I mean, you were doing it very well. I'll kick it this time for you. How about that?
Thank you.
So Eddie Kingston is fighting on your behalf to go with Lance Archer. But Ryan, you did want to say your piece. The AEW Women's Championship was on the line, and unfortunately, the great number 99, she couldn't get it done.
She came up short, but her first match in AEW was against Cheetah, and it was pretty much a squash at that time. Showed a lot of progression in this match. Her skills have definitely developed as member of the Dark Order. Cheetah got the win with a running knee. As she celebrates and leaves, some strange music hits, and a strange person crawled out, and you could tell by the look on Cheetah's face, she was terrified. And if you've watched their match on AEW Dark, Cheetah and Abaddon, Cheetah was terrified during the match. She has really good facials when it comes to being scared. So I guess we're going to see that match at some point in the near future, Abaddon and Cheetah. Yeah,
Abaddon tagged the belt. She's just – I heard they didn't show what happened. I guess they edited her match out where she got injured. She was supposed to be on the Halloween episode, I want to say.
Yes.
I'm glad to see – that was only, 4 weeks ago?
And people didn't know how severe – Yeah. We didn't know how severe that injury was going to be.
Yeah.
It was bad. So
I was a little shocked to see her. Glad she's okay, and she said she's going to give Cheetah a run for her money. And possibly purchases of new underwear that I guess Cheetah keeps on cheating. Hangman Page defeated John Silver with the Buckshot Lariat. The Silver gave him a run for his money. That was a really good match. John Silver each week just keeps on shining. Maybe we should start just calling him that, Shining Silver. I like that. So, but then after the match was over, the Dark Order, specifically Evil Uno, had a little heart with Adam Page. We're not going to jump you. We know you're alone right now. We know you're hurt. If you want us, we're here for you. We'll help you. So a nice little courtesy offer by the Dark Order. And then TH2, they defeated Top Flight when Adelle put some sort of reverse figure 4. That was a random version of a figure 4 as I've ever seen. He put that on Darius Martin, and he wouldn't let it go after the match was won, and here come the Young Bucks for the save. I know, Ryan, you mentioned before, I guess on Dark TH2 has been calling out the Bucks, so it looks like maybe we're headed to that. That would be absolutely incredible. One last thing, Ryan, you wanted to bring make sure I bring this to everybody's attention. On AEW Dark tonight, Shayna, she is making her way back. She is now back stateside. I believe she's the Portugal princess, right?
Yeah, that's right. She's from Portugal, and she's one of their signed talents that we haven't seen since basically the start of the pandemic. So it's good to have to be able to see their roster full again with people like Pac and Shanna. It just kind of is a good signal to all of us.
Yeah. So and that's going to lead us into, I guess, Game of Thrones. I never watched Game of Thrones, so I really don't have any stupid jokes to make about this. I have no idea. Apparently Al Snow was in it. I have no idea. But winter is coming. They have 5 matches signed for tonight. Before we get to them, here are the Essential Wrestling Podcast pool standings on ProWrestlingPick'em.com. If you wish to play against us, it's right there. It's a public pool. Anybody can join. You can make your picks for all the shows that we talk about in WWE, NXT, AEW, Impact. John DeConnie has a nice little lead after Survivor Series. Ryan Joy is now up. John DeConnie got out of my ass. Ryan Joy is now up it. John Smith not too far behind. Tyler, the wrong guy. Tyler Adelle, he misses shows here and there. I make sure he chimes in for this one as well. As far as our AEW standings go, I'm the only one that actually has participated in all 6 shows. As you can see by my record, 28 wins. But still 28 wins, 13 losses. That's a pretty good win percentage. I'm actually happy with this. I'll take that lead. The scoring for winter is coming. You get 5 points for the AEW Championship match, 3 points for all other title matches, which I do not believe there are, and then 1 point for all non-title matches. If you go perfect, you get an additional 5 points.
The Dynamite Diamond ring is kind of a title. I don't know if you consider that a
yeah, kind of, I guess. I don't know. We'll wait. If the FTW becomes a title, then we'll make the Dynamite Diamond ring a title as well. How about that? Powerhouse Hobbs, he beat somebody last week. Then Taz came out post-match arguing that the FTW Championship is not a recognized title. And he wants AEW to put some respect on that title. He's claimed this claimed heritage that I believe we discussed briefly, John DeConnie. It's a 2-person history, right? It was Taz, it was Sabu for 5 seconds, and then it was back to Taz again, and now it's Cage 20 years later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so Taz wants respect on it. Cody came out representing, I guess, the authority, for lack of a better term, management. Sorry, wrong company.
That's push-ups.
Yeah, it's pretty scary though. How it's pretty similar, right, Cody? Pretty scary. So Cody mentioned that he's training Taz's son Hook. I guess that Taz off. I haven't seen a Taz mission in a very long time, so that was a lot of fun to see that. You gotta love it when Taz gets angry. But that they're gonna set up this match for tomorrow night, where Team Taz will be represented by Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. They're going against Cody Rhodes and the TNT champion Darby Allin. Ryan Joy, as our senior AEW correspondent and the person that will be in attendance for tomorrow night's show.
Yeah. I think Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks are going to win this match. I'm not sure who's getting the pin, but I think Darby Allin will be pinned again by Team Taz.
All right, John DeConnie.
I completely agree. Team Taz gets the win here. If you put a gun to my head to go one step further, I would say maybe Cody takes the pin due to some outside interference from Taz. I don't know, but definitely I'm on the Team Taz bandwagon.
All right, John Smith, you're going to leave me out on the hook. You're going to do this to me again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with Team Taz. Hobbs needs the win, man. Hobbs is new. You can't just have him come in and lose, even if what's his face takes the pin. What's his name again?
Starks.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah. John Starks.
John Starks.
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, I definitely think Hobbs needs to win this match. He needs to put somebody down.
Now, was Head in Game of Thrones also, or is it just Al Snow?
Just Al Snow.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Just so you know, Tony Khan.
I'm gonna go with Cody and Darby. I think Darby needs a win. I think Darby's gonna pin Starks, and then they're just gonna get jumped by Taz afterwards. Is Hook Taz's kid Hook? Is he gonna get involved here? Anybody?
I
He
think
was there last week, right? Did he go off with Taz at the end? I don't know.
I love how you ask us a question, and then when somebody starts answering it, you just like drown them out right away.
Oh, I gave you a second answer. I didn't hear anybody. Who had it, Ryan?
Yeah, I said he'll be in a shark cage.
Right. So,
See, that's
are we going back to the Sea Stars here? Or what are we doing?
The problem with this format is that, like, I so wish that we were all in one room together, so that, you know, like a radio show where you could get the crosstalk, because Ryan is so sneaky funny, but he winds up getting talked over so often. I just feel like we're missing gems.
Well, make sure you tune into the Daily Wrestling News Show Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m., where I do not drown out Ryan Joy at all. I let him talk. Like I said, he had me spitting coffee out of my mouth yesterday morning with his comment about Uncle Dave. So, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, they defeated SCU after MJF hit Daniels with the diamond ring, sending Daniels into the Judas effect. Pretty crazy how this is the first time after all these years that Chris Jericho and Christopher Daniels have met in the ring. I mean, I guess you think about it, you know, where they were at each time. You know, Jericho was in WWE for a very long time where Daniels wasn't, so I guess maybe that makes the most sense. Maybe like Ring of Honor somewhere they could cross paths. But we're going to go one-on-one here, John the Connie. We got Chris Jericho and Frankie Kazarian. What do you got?
Harkening back to Ryan's astute notice that Jericho seems to win one, lose one, this is his turn to lose one, but I think because it's on a big show, I think Jericho takes it.
All right. Ryan Joy, you going to stay with your pattern?
No. I think John DeConnie has picked the break in the pattern correctly. I think Jericho is going to win this. I'm not really sure. To me, this match isn't really all that compelling. I think it's obvious that Jericho's going to win. Somebody disagree with me.
I'll just jump in here, Johnson. I can't picture any sort of circumstance where Frankie Kazarian wins.
Yeah, I don't think Jericho is going on Frankie Kazarian's resume right now.
Maybe Billy Kay's, but not.
Yeah. The Best Friends and Orange Cassidy they interrupted and then fought Miro Kip Sabian. I guess they have a video game truck. I guess somewhere in the Jaguars / Daly's Place catacombs event level, it's called in the world. Anyway, but those are only 4 of the members going here. Let me get the graphic off of Miro's face just so you know that he's on here. There's a ton of stuff going on here in this Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. Last year's winner, MJF, as I just mentioned, even in the last match, he still uses that thing to this day to win matches. So this thing does come in handy if used correctly. Or I guess you can just leave it on your dresser at home, you know, some kind of show. But there's a lot going on here. Ryan Joy, we're going to come with you last because, holy crap, your cousin just dissected this thing more than anything. I don't want to. You already warped my mind with it. I don't know if Johnson or John DeConnie, if you guys are safe from what Travis had to say, but he had a lot of interesting theories, a lot of which ways that this can go. So, John DeConnie, I'm sorry, John Smith. We'll start with you. Who do you got in this one?
I mean, just from looking at that picture, that's not everybody in it, I'm sure. But
yes, yeah.
I mean, my first thought was Orange Cassidy because of the big push he's gotten lately. But then, you know, the diamond goes more with, like, you know, the diamond ring of MJF. So I'm gonna go with MJF on this one.
All right, you got a 2-time winner because that's where he got the diamond ring from last year. That's what
that he won. He won this last year?
Yeah, that's why he has that ring.
Oh, then never mind. Then
All
I'm
right.
going to go with Orange Cassidy. Sorry.
Orange Cassidy. There you go. John DeConnie. You good? No, you good.
Yeah.
Son.
I wish we had a more clear explanation, and Ryan and his cousin touched on this morning. Is he defending the same ring, or are they going to get? Is this ring going to have a number 2 on it? There'll be 2 of them out there. Because I think it's a lot of fun if it comes down to MJF and Sammy. Now, if he's defending the ring, I would probably lean towards MJF. But I think there's just too much fun in Sammy winning it, and then it just being that burr in MJF's ass every time he looks at Sammy when they're all together hanging out in the inner circle.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. My original pick, I'm sticking with my gun. I'm sticking with my pick. I say that whole Sammy Guevara winning just to chap MJF's ass. Hey, look, we have matching rings now. Like that would kill MJF to no end. I'm going to stick with the pick I gave on the Daily Wrestling News Show on Monday morning. My knee-jerk reaction was Matt Hardy. Only because Matt he's been doing some really weird things on social media. He had a weird promo last week. Just congratulating himself that other people should be thankful for him and that he's the reason that private parties. He's being very heel tendencies out of him. So maybe they're doing something new with him, and this would add to it. So Ryan Joy, I don't remember who you picked this morning on your show, but like I said, you and your cousin, you went through this thing, man. You had Miro with a chance too. I mean, that's.
Yeah, we talked about Miro and Kip Sabian, how they're an available faction here with Penelope Ford. They already got 1 diamond ring in the group. Maybe this makes 2 or makes it awkward if they have to give it to Penelope and then take it back a year from now. You also have Hangman Adam Page in this. And while he is a baby face, and you can't really see a baby face necessarily winning this because you can't use it to cheat every match, Page has had good success with Battle Royals over the course of his tenure. He was the winner of the first Casino Battle Royal, which got him the shot against Chris Jericho. He was in the finals, I guess, last year for this diamond ring. So he seems to be a favorite as well. The reason you can't remember who I picked is because I totally evaded the question this morning.
Oh, there you go.
I couldn't nail somebody down, but I think it's going to be a heel. I don't know if it's going to be Kip Sabian or Miro. I'm going to go with Sammy Guevara, just for lack of a better choice.
Okay. We have a women's division match. We have Britt Baker, our beloved doctor, our beloved dentist. Kind of looks like the Joker in that picture. It's a very sinister picture of the good dentist. She's going to be going up against Layla Hirsch. This match, John DeConnie?
Layla, yeah.
Layla Hirsch, not layup. This isn't a layup for Britt.
It's never a layup when it's a Jersey girl.
Yeah, she's a Jersey girl.
That's the one I was telling you. They book her as hailing from Moscow, Russia.
Yeah.
And then the minute she starts grappling, they go out to mention how she was an all-state wrestler in New Jersey.
No kidding. There we go. All right, I'll take that comment back then. Take back my pick then. I was going to pick Britt Baker. Ryan Joy, who do you got in this one?
Oh, Britt Baker.
I'm going to go Baker. John Smith.
Definitely Baker.
John DeConnie, want to make this unanimous?
All together now.
All righty. So then we have our main event for the AEW Championship. This is the one everyone's been looking for. And again, this morning, Ryan Joy, you and your cousin absolutely killed this thing. It could go a lot of different ways. I didn't even look at the thing. Winter is coming. I didn't think that it would go as far as that they're planning, something is coming after either Moxley or Omega. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together on that, but you guys dissected this, so I'll go with you last again. John Smith, who do you got on this one?
I've been saying for a while now, when Moxley loses this belt, you're going to have to pay to see it, so I'm going to go with Moxley.
All right, John DeConnie.
I just, I think the next pay-per-view is too far off. So, you're putting Kenny Omega in this match. He's going to give you all 28 stars on free TV. He's going to take the title home.
Yeah, I think this has to be it. This has to be Kenny Omega. I had Omega, and then Ryan Joy. I think you and Travis kind of solidified it for me the sneak attack from last week, just everything. There's the New Japan tie-in. Just quickly go for it. Try to sum it up.
Yeah. So I'm picking Kenny Omega as well. But the theory that Travis brought up this morning that the attacker was Kenta, who holds the briefcase for the IWGP United States Championship, currently in the possession of Jon Moxley. Kenta hasn't been seen in Japan for a while, so the theory is he's been back here. He's quarantined. CEO change at New Japan, which should open up the relationship between AEW and New Japan. Potentially some talent trades. Whole different invasion type of angle could be occurring here. We've already seen them working with NWA. So the theory brought forward this morning was this is a Bullet Club invasion, and Kenny Omega is a member of the Bullet Club. So there you have it.
Kenta's got that contract. Kenta's supposed to be fighting Jon Moxley for the United States Championship. Okay, now to go with that, as you mentioned, that at Triple Mania, well, Kenny Omega's got to fight. Even if he wins, he's got to defend down in more people are going to be watching Wrestle Kingdom than Triple Mania, and that's a dumb assumption on my part. Moxley can't drop the U.S. title as AEW champion in front of that audience, especially when there's supposed to be 80,000 people at the Tokyo Dome. Like Kenny Omega, maybe he can just somewhat lose or whatever to be respectful. I don't think no one's going to knock Kenny Omega for losing just to drop the title. Jon Moxley, he can't drop that title as AEW champion. So we have about a month, right? Today's the 1st. Wrestle Kingdom's the 4th. Something's on the 5th. I can't remember. Somebody's birthday. That's irrelevant. So
what about Moxley wins this match and then Omega costs him the U.S. title at Wrestle Kingdom, leading up to Moxley versus Omega 3 at the next pay-per-view before
in
Moxley
February?
comes.
Yeah, at the end of February is the next show. That could be.
Why not?
That bridges the gap.
Yeah. There's more than enough. The 2 weeks quarantine. There's more than enough time to get everybody overseas and back. So
it also helps John Smith build a case for his pick.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we are going to switch gears real quick. Hour and a half. Okay, we got to go somewhat quicker than normal here. Just a quick summary of non-war games, things that happened on NXT. I jumped out of my chair, took my shoes off. Grizzled Young Veterans are back. If you hate Gibson, shoes off. My shoes are off. I was excited. They came out. They jumped out of Rise, and they're back. You look for Liverpool's number 1 and James Drake. That was a nice little shot in the arm to the NXT Tag Division, so good to see them back. We got Adelle Phantasma named Kurt Stallion as Santos' next challenger. Ryan, anything on Kurt Stallion?
Yeah, I've been watching some 205 Live. He's all over that show. Solid cruiserweight.
Alrighty, Boa and Xia Li begged for forgiveness from somebody. It looks like Shang Tsung has a higher power that's even above him. It appeared to be a female. I thought I saw nail polish, but then again, it's 2020. I don't want to assume gender. Who knows?
It could be Jeff Hardy.
What's that?
It could be Jeff Hardy.
It could be Jeff Hardy. And I believe they declared Mortal Kombat on Xia Li this time as well. She had that thing written on her wrist. Then they have one match there's one match happening that they booked for Wednesday night. We'll get into that in a second. Here are our standings going into War Games. John Smith, our senior NXT correspondent, he just seems to be untouchable when it comes to NXT takeovers and NXT events. 25-6. Unbelievable. So he's got a commanding lead. Everybody's chasing. Here is the scoring system for War Games. There is no NXT Championship match yet. I can't imagine. Finn's got nothing going on. I can't imagine that going on. 3 points for all the title matches. 1 point for the non-title matches. War Games, we double the points. We bump it up to 10. So that's fun. That perfect pay-per-view bonus, that is incorrect. It should be 10 points. For actual weekend pay-per-views, the perfect pay-per-view bonus equals the highest point value match, and that is 10. The kickoff matches do not count. They're going to have tonight. They are going to have just like they did last week with the men's. They're going to have a War Games match, advantage match for the women's. This is not a ladder match. This is going to be a straight up fight between Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez to actually be fun, and that's going to lead into War Games this Sunday night. Our Team Shotzi, she during the past couple days, they've showed videos of Shotzi working on her tank and welding stuff. Ember Moon and Rhea Ripley both wanted to join the team. Shotzi said yes. Team Candice got her team together last week, including a shocking heel turn from Toni Storm. I did not see that coming at all. Maybe we can get into that on a later date, but we're going to get going on this one now. So John Smith, as our senior NXT correspondent, who do you got in this? Who's the mystery partner? And I'm sure they'll announce it tomorrow night. I think it's kind of obvious. And then maybe who do you got in the advantage match as well?
In the advantage match, I think it is a ladder match. I thought I saw it advertised at maybe not. I got Shotzi either way winning that one. The match at War Games, geez, it's so tough because you don't even know who the fourth person is. Is it going to even matter? But I got to go with Shotzi's team because they've been shoving her up our butts for the past 3 months ever since they started promoting Halloween Havoc. So yeah.
All right, John DeConnie.
Yeah, I think Shotzi takes the advantage match, and I'm thinking, obviously, I am nowhere near as in tune with NXT as John Smith is, but I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of a brawl around the ringside, and that's where we get the confirmation of who the fourth person is, which I think we all presume is going to be Io, and maybe she helps Shotzi get the win over Raquel to get the advantage. And then I think with Shotzi's new tank rolls down to cage side. I think the faces are going to take it at War Games.
All right, I'm going to skip my turn because John DeConnie's pretty much said everything I was going to say. Ryan Joy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say what everybody's been thinking. The mystery partner is obviously Jesse Kamea, right? So my predictions are different. I'm going to pick Raquel in the advantage match, and Shotzi at the War Games match. Shotzi's team.
All right. This past Wednesday, we had I don't think we've ever had an NXT edition of the Kevin Owens show, but it was actually really fun. Kevin Owens, calling out all those other. I'll never say a guy's name. Knows he's going to come out, and then he brought the fourth chair in before Priest came out. Just a hunt. It was a lot of fun from KO. But then let me holler for a second. Play I guess William Regal with a Teddy Long impersonation. He declared that this match, the NXT North American Championship. Leon Ruff said that he would take them both on at the same time, and that is exactly what is going to happen. And with that, I said last week, I forgot to take the screenshot of it. Last week, I said to myself that this match was going to happen. I wanted points to be on the line. I got it. I'm going to take Leon Ruff. So I texted you within 20 seconds after that match was booked as I went on the ProWrestlingPick'em.com and made Leon Ruff my selection. So, Ryan Joy, are you with me or are you against me?
Is it sudden death rules?
I do not believe this is sudden death. I believe this is just a normal triple threat match. Ryan, please, we call it instant victory on this show.
Slant positive.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. Leon Ruff.
All right, John DeConnie.
Yeah. I not only do I think it's rough, I think maybe Johnny hits the one final beat and Ruff maybe drop kicks him out of the ring and he actually gets the pin on Damien.
Oh, gets the pin Damien Priest. All right, now John Smith. Before we get to your pick, the stream mask guy, Johnny's stream guy, he showed up again and said, "We're making the dumb assumption that's Austin Theory." I think Johnny's got something up his sleeve here. That's the only thing that's concerning me with my Leon Ruff pick.
I think that is going to segue itself into more Johnny and Damien stuff. I think if the Scream Mask guy shows up, it's not going to cost Leon Ruff the title. I think he's gonna win because that title is on a one-way track. You know where it's going? To the moon, baby. That title is going to the moon.
Speaking of which, Cameron Grimes, he defeated Tony Atlas by screaming to the moon, followed by his cave-in. Then Dexter Lumis appeared with a strap to keep Cameron Grimes from running away from him. So here we go. We have a strap match between Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis. John Smith, this is the payoff you've been waiting for, and you love these both. I love Cameron Grimes, but I know you're a huge Lumis fan too. Is this the perfect ending to this?
It is, but I don't know who's going to win. Honestly, like it seems obvious that Lumis would win, but I feel like Lumis's next big feud is going to come out of the way this match finishes. But I can't put my finger on who that might be or what might happen. So I'm going to stick with Lumis because I can't really, come up with another situation.
All right, Ryan Joy.
I think Cameron Grimes has this. I don't
You say
have a
that
lot
pretty
to go.
confidently.
What's that?
I'm sorry, you say that pretty confidently.
I don't have a lot to go with it, and John Smith's justification cut out for me, so I didn't get to hear that. So I'm going with Cameron Grimes.
Yes. John DeConnie.
I think this is one of those situations where, as thoroughly entertaining as Grimes has been, Lumis seems to be getting the best of him every step along the way here. So I think it's got, it's not really a rivalry unless the other guy gets a victory here or there. So I think maybe Grimes uses the strap to choke out Lumis. I'm going to go with Grimes here.
Yeah, I got Cameron Grimes as well by hook or crook. I'm not confident with the pick at all because this could be easily just be as cut and dry as Lumis crushes him and it's over, and then it's off to Dexter Lumis and then the North American title at some point. I'm just kind of hoping by hook or crook. Grimes has done it. He's beat Finn Balor. He beat somebody else. I can't remember off the top of my head. He beat somebody else he wasn't supposed to beat. So nobody, honestly, in my head, I'm not giving Grimes a chance, which means Grimes has a huge chance to win this match. So I'm going to go Cameron Grimes. A match that hasn't been officially booked yet. We'll discuss it just in case. Kushida defeated Timothy Thatcher with the hoverboard lock with Tommaso Ciampa watching. So it looks like Ciampa and Thatcher are on a collision course here, John DeConnie. If this does happen at TakeOver, they do announce it tomorrow night because normally TakeOvers are 5 matches. I know with War Games, it might be dumbed down to 4 to make sure there's enough time for both War Games matches. But just in case, let's pick Ciampa and Thatcher here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tommaso Ciampa. He's on a quest to clean up the people he doesn't care for in the locker room, and I think Thatcher's just where he starts.
I completely agree, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa in that. I just think he's the stronger guy right now.
All right, John Smith.
Yeah, definitely Ciampa.
And this is another funny thing. You hear Timothy Thatcher's music come out. It's gonna be not CFO, kind of like when Ciampa fought Tony Atlas. This whatever, just like generic music, and all of a sudden, no one will survive. And it's just completely night and day between Tommaso Ciampa and everybody else. It's just Ciampa's just gonna roll over this guy. And then in the last match last week, Pete Dunne defeated Kyle O'Reilly in that ladder match to earn the War Games advantage for Team McAfee. They said Pat McAfee was actually in Indianapolis. He actually showed up and cost Kyle O'Reilly the match. So here we are right now, once again, because you cannot say War Games without the Undisputed Era. They have been in all. This is now their 4th one in the 4-year history that War Games has been in NXT. So John Smith, as our senior NXT correspondent, what you got?
This is another tough one. I'm going with Team McAfee, though. Not because of Pat McAfee, but because of the bruiserweight.
All right. Ryan Joy.
I like Pete Dunne. I like him a lot. But the good guys always win War Games. So I'm going with the Undisputed Era.
All right. The Undisputed Era is 1-2. They did win in heels in the first one, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Down the count. It's funny because they can say the Undisputed Era, they were 3-0 in their advantage matches, which
Right.
they've always had the advantage. So this is the first time they haven't had the advantage, but they're 1-2, so it hasn't really paid off for them, you know? Like this. John DeConnie.
This is definitely the hardest pick of the night. I'm gonna go with Team Mehaffy just because I think something's bubbling in the Undisputed Era, and I can't put my finger on it yet, but I think it may play out in front of us here. I don't know what that might be, but I think it winds up costing them the match.
Okay, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go Team McAfee as well. I said something just needs to change with the Undisputed Era. There needs to be something. I don't know if I might be as bold to call both Roddy and Bobby turning on Kyle and Adam. I don't know. Kyle's not turning because he obviously, you got jumped by Pete Dunne and then just had them. I don't think it's Kyle O'Reilly. Obviously, it's not Cole. They're the leader. I think Roddy and Bobby are better suited as heels or whatever. I just think so. There's going to be some kind of swerve here. I think this is going to be the last time you see the four of them walk the aisle together. Unfortunately, and I'm going to go with Team McAfee. So I said that a couple of weeks ago. I might as well just stick with it. So that will do it for War Games. Wow, hour 45. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. We are going to do my WrestleMania top 30 favorite matches. We are at number 17. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this match because we don't have the time. But God, if there was one match in this history that just completely just pissed off the entire wrestling world and sent the internet into a complete uproar, but yet made this guy probably the happiest guy in the entire universe. Dang. Yes! Good old sledgehammer, boom, down goes Sting. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can't hack with WWE. Yeah, that's Sting. Oh, done. Oh, that made me so happy. God, Triple H. No, that was great. Fun little the invasion aspect of it. They brought it back because neither Hunter or Sting was involved back in the invasion back in 2001, and neither were really DX or the NWO. So it was a kind of nice little final, meeting with those guys. We got to see what we didn't see during the invasion angle for obvious reasons. Most of them contractual between Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hogan, and Sting. But yeah, that's just that just warms the cockles of my heart.
Triple H is terrorizing.
Yep. Okay, so now we're just gonna do a couple quick promotions and we'll get you guys out of here. On to the giveaway. There we go. Jim the Anvil Neihart signed 8x11 photo, courtesy of Sideline Sports and WWE memorabilia. All you have to do is go to this YouTube video link, which if you're on YouTube, you're already good to go. If you're on Facebook, the link should be attached to the post where you're watching. Hit the subscribe button, RKO that notification bell, and comment on this video with the hashtag EWPAnvil. We'll be announcing the winner at 200 subscribers, so make sure you're tuned in for when we are announcing the winner. Make sure you tune in every Friday night at 6 p.m. to the Primetime Rundown, powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca. They took the week off last week for the holiday. They are back this Friday to talk everything non-scripted sports and probably Wolf Fuller's suspension. Womp womp.
Hey,
Well, where is this guy?
I had him in 3 leagues.
Here at the Essential Wrestling Podcast, we are proud to be the first to announce an upcoming show prior to social media. The Primetime Rundown interview series will be welcoming Detroit Red Wings television broadcaster Ken Daniels on Wednesday, December 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern. For more information, please go to the easternobserver.com. And with that, the Eastern Observer has partnered with the Jamie Daniels Foundation. Today is there we go. Sorry about that. Today is Giving Tuesday, where donors make a difference. It's not too late to make sure you get a gift and provide to those who are suffering from substance abuse disorder. This is the Jamie Daniels Foundation to help end the battle of child substance abuse. Please go to jamiedanielsfoundation.org, or for more information, you can also go to the easternobserver.com as well. As we've been promoting pretty much most of the show for Ryan Joy, we have the Daily Wrestling News Show. I'm lost here. There we go. The Daily Wrestling News Show. It's every Monday through Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Ryan, you want to? There we go. Ryan, you want to give us about tomorrow's show?
Tomorrow's show, special guest host will be John DeConnie, and we will be talking about the recently announced 2020 WWE Slammies, making our predictions and perhaps making some funny anecdotes along the way. Tune in for that.
Also, Ryan, we're going to stick with you real quick. Are you still having your pre-order sale?
Oh, yeah. Pre-orders for the rest of the year. $10 for the book. It's going to be close to 1,000 pages, all color, beautiful. But it is Giving Tuesday, so go give your $10 to a good cause instead.
All right, then Ryan, we're going to stick with you one more time. What happened to the thing? I don't know. Tell us about the Body Slam Brigade, buddy.
We took a week off last week, so no issue, but you should be able to get your news through the Daily Wrestling News Show. But if you prefer the written word, do subscribe to the Body Slam Brigade at bodyslambrigade.com and get yourself something to read whenever you need something to read, Al.
All right, sounds good. And I just want to shout out to Tempe Smith. She is in on the anvil contest. Make sure you do what she did. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and comment the hashtag TWP Anvil. Thank you, Tempe. Good luck to you.
No relation.
What's that?
No relation.
No relation. Make sure Black Cat. There we go. Black Cat, the new album Free Cake, dropped a few weeks back. I don't know, November 13th. Make sure you pick up their second album, I believe. That's out on all of these media outlets: YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, anywhere you get your music. Make sure you get the Black Cats NYC and their new album Free Cake. And then next week on our show, it won't just be any normal old show. We have the North American Wrestling Alliance owner, Tony Capone, along with one of his top superstars, Amber Nova, to be here with us as guest pickers for the upcoming Impact Final Resolution show. So you be sure you check out the relaunch of the North American Wrestling Alliance. Where did Jingle Brawl go? There we go. Their show, Jingle Brawl, which is on Saturday, December 19th at 7 p.m. on Fight TV. Where Amber Nova, Davey Boy Smith, Bushwhacker Luke, the Nasty Boys will all be there. They did announce Gangrel. He's got his first match is booked. His match is booked. It was the first one booked for the show, Gangrel. He is fighting. Amber Nova's fighting. And there's going to be a tournament for the Hercules Cup, which is dedicated to the late Hercules, the mighty Hercules, from Power and Glory and other things all over the years. Hercules was a great mainstay in the late 80s and early 90s. So that will do it for us today. Ryan, Joy, anything from your end?
I think the back half of this show has been commercials for me, so I'm good.
John Smith.
No, I'm good, man. Enjoy War Games, everyone.
Yeah, John DeConnie.
I'm ready to wrap up. How about you?
I'm ready to wrap it up as well. Alexa Bliss, we love you. We always love you. Always remember that. Tegan Knox, get well soon. We miss you. I missed her with War Games. She would have whooped Dakota's ass from last year. John DeConnie, take it home.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
All right.
All games.
30.